Hi, my name is Ian, and this is my CSE 499 senior project for status update for week 10. So I am currently working on an IT operations and monitoring dashboard with Prometheus and Grafana. I have my GitHub linked below. However, I haven't been working out of GitHub. I've just been primarily working on my computer and um, the status of my computer. So I moved my overall status. I moved from behind to slightly behind, so I am moving upward and I am catching up. I worked about 10 hours this week, and this is primarily because I ran into a few hiccups. So I've worked a total of 79 hours to date. My estimated total hours for completion are 148 to 168. It'll most likely be 168 due to the hiccup that I faced earlier with kind of resetting my project completely. So last week's accomplishments consisted of adding Grafana and connecting data sources. I also made a few dashboards as well in Grafana, so that was really helpful. Next week goals are setting up alerts. I may do a little bit more, so I'll update it as I go. But as far as the SPED talk or SPED talk insights go, Michael shared some really interesting information about the APIs. I didn't know much about APIs, and so it was good to learn that from him. I, you know, I've had a lot of experience in this field, but learning about APIs, I think it's good to learn about something basic and interesting as APIs. And especially the roles that commonly used coding languages play in it, such as JavaScript and Python. I didn't know that they had such an integral role in it. So that was very helpful to say the least. Now the biggest challenge I faced this week was probably setting up Grafana. I had a really difficult time sharing ports on my personal computer. So it was consistently just filling in the port, and I had to reset the port several times. And thankfully, I was finally able to get it set up, as well as getting Prometheus to scrape data properly. Now, for this, I even had to ask AI for some advice because I had a really difficult time figuring out what the problem was, and not only figuring out what the problem was, but how to solve the problem. So I was finally able to figure it out, and it was a great learning opportunity for me. But that was probably my biggest setback, and that was probably what caused my hours to go up this week because I just struggled and struggled, and obviously I spent more than one day working on this, so that was, usually I just knock it out in 1 or 2 days, but it really set me back. But all in all, it was a great learning opportunity, and I think it'll prepare me for a real world situation. So that was really beneficial in the long run. Now, as far as the demo goes, I'll go ahead and open up Grafana here. So I have the 3 dashboards that I made. I made 3 to start, and I may make more, but we'll see how it goes. I have CPU usage percentage, the percentage of the disk free, and memory available through megabytes. So we'll start with CPU usage. As you can see here, it hasn't been running long. I just set it up basically just before I started recording this. And I have it resetting itself every 5 seconds. I have it on a refresh for every 5 seconds. Um, but as you can see here, I've used a total of about 6.27%. So not a ton, thankfully, for my computer setup. It's not a lot, but it's consistently refreshing, and I'm getting data constantly. So that's really nice. As far as disk free, I have 46.5% free. Um, so that's handy to use as well. And then memory available. This hasn't changed much. As you can see here, it did spike when I first started it, but it's actually gone down a bit. So I have about 2,900 megabytes of memory available. And so, we'll go from there. I did work on trying to add a variable in. I've been working with, I've been doing a lot of research and trying to add a variable in my data. So we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to elaborate a bit on that more next week, but we'll see how things go. But that's as far as my demo goes. I did work a little bit in the Docker here. I have the monitoring dashboard, as you can see, used about 0.41%, but it's updating constantly. So that was helpful. And then I did a little bit of work in the VirtualBox. I did have to go into Ubuntu or Ubuntu, however you pronounce it. I did have to go in there and change a few things. Well, no, I didn't change anything. I just had to grab the IP address. So that was a good learning opportunity as well. But yeah, as far as that goes, that's everything I have. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.